Alright guys, I want to do something a little bit different on this video. I'm going to talk about trading. And I think that's probably one of the things I like the most about this game is just being able to trade. And their trading platform is so nice, so easy to use and user-friendly. But I figured I'd talk about what I like to do. I've been trading for several months on this app pretty consistently now. And I want to talk about some tips, maybe some tricks you guys could use if you're not having successful luck trading. I like to think about cards that I need, not always need, but cards that are good, cards that I think have good trade value possibly later. I like to trade up, let's say. Kind of that guy who has the paper clip and, trades it into a car type thing. Kind of work up from commons to, acquire rares and use those rares to get epics later. And basically just start trading up and building your collection up to better and better cards. So let's take a look here. I'll show you one of the tricks I like to do. So I like to sort by cards I have, and this is going to show me everybody's who has cards that I can trade with. So let's see. Now another thing I like to do is a lot of these people are looking for fusion ingredients. So you'll see like this one here, the Virgo Spiral Galaxy. Now I have multiple copies of that. So most likely this guy is looking for multiple copies. So this gives me an edge now if I try to trade with him. So let's see. Now I'm going to look for a card. I'm going to look for something that is limited. I almost always trade for limited cards because I think their retrade value is going to be a lot higher. So I want to look for a rare or epic limited card. Let's see if he's got anything that I need. Now, I don't always just grab any old card. I will look and see if there's anything decent or playable, let's say, that he has. Now, I do find that it is a lot easier to trade if the person has duplicates of cards. They're more willing to give up a card that they have multiples of because, obviously, in this game, multiples, you can't use. They're mainly just trading and crafting. So let's see if he has anything that I'm interested in. And sometimes even if I'm not super interested in the card, like I said, I will try to trade for it just so I'm trading up and slowly getting better cards that I could potentially trade off later. So let's see. I'm kind of looking at this Brom Castle. I do have a pretty good Halloween deck, and I don't have a Bran Castle. Let's see. What else does he have? Now, one thing I do like to do, as I do see cards that I'm going, I'll just put them up at the top like that, just for reference. I can always take them out if I find something better. So let's see. Now, these are obviously all his duplicates, so because he has such a vast collection of decent duplicates, I think I will stick to those and not try to snipe one of his singles, because chances are he's not going to want to get rid of it. So let's see here. This card's decent, and I believe I still do have an Attila the Hun card. So maybe potentially could use it later down the line. So those are the two I'm looking at the moment. I don't really see anything else that's super interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and try for this castle. So now what I would do is, I see it's an epic limited. So a lot of times what I like to do is I like to give them 2 of these ingredients that they're looking for. Now, like I talked about earlier, I like to trade up. So let me look. So that Bron Castle we saw was an epic rarity level. So I want to try to give him rares and commons now of limited cards so that I'm essentially getting a higher valued card out of this deal. So let me see if I see anything I have that I don't necessarily need at the moment, or that's not in one of my decks. I did see that ping pong, table tennis card here. I don't really care much for it. Not saying it's not a good card, just not something I'm interested in right now. So that's a rare. Let me see if I can also dump in a common limited card and see if that makes the trade somewhat even. I do prefer to have more of an even trade. I think a lot of times if you're not having luck trading, it's probably because you're sending trades that are very one-sided in your favor. A lot of times I like to send trades that are fair, if not in their favor, and you will have a lot better chance of them accepting the trade, especially if you're trading off cards that aren't necessarily the greatest cards. So there are two types of people in this game. You've got guys that are collectors and they're trying to collect every single card in the game. Then you've got guys like myself where we are trying to collect good cards. I'm trying to get rid of these cards that I don't necessarily use, and I don't think they're going to be very useful in this game. They're more of filler cards, but somebody who is collecting and trying to get all the cards would still find them useful. They still want to collect that card. So here I am going to get rid of that card and see if I can get cards that I actually want. So let's see. Letters of Marque. Your epic cards in hand gain +10 in this round. So it's not that great, right? You have to have a deck built around epic cards for this card to really see any competitive play. And I don't think that's going to be very useful. So I'm going to add that to this trade. So I'm giving him a rare limited, a common limited, and 2 of the cards that he wanted for ingredients. So let's see if this trade and look, the trade is fair, which is what I'm going for. So let's go ahead and submit that trade and see if we can get that castle that we're looking for here. So let's do one more example, but I'm going to do on the offered side. So I want to look for a card that I want to try to build my collection, and I want to go for a limited legendary card. So let's see if I see anything that's a good card that I would like to try to add to my collection. And I'll show you my strategy for gathering these cards. And you'll look, as we look at my collection, you're going to see primarily good cards in limited legendaries, just because that is what I'm looking for. Now this Amber Room is a card I have been looking for. I've made several offers trying to get a hold of it, and I have not been successful. Now this is not something that's going to work every time, like I'm saying. I mean, these guys, a lot of times they're, if you're not trading a limited rare for a limited rare, they're not going to want to do the deal. They want it to be a fair, if I'm giving you an epic card, I want an epic card in return. Whereas you'll get lucky sometimes, like on that last trade I just showed you, where somebody, the card's not super good and they have a duplicate, they don't mind getting rid of it. Now this card, we don't know yet if this guy has a duplicate. But I'm thinking, so I'm going to skip out of this. Cards needed. So cards they need. Now I'm going to sort. I'm going to try to give him a limited legendary that I do not want. Now my trick is not only do I give him a card like Savannah Cat that I do not really want. I don't really prefer the Cool Cats deck. I tried it before and wasn't a big fan. So I see that I'm going to give him this card. Now I also want to sweeten the pot because I really want that Amber Root card. I've been trying to get it for a few days now, unsuccessfully, but I'm going to give him a sweetener here. So let's see if he needs any epic limited card. Here's a perfect one right here, Tulips. This card I'm not necessarily looking to play anytime, and it is an epic limited, so that should raise our fairness level up to fair, if not a little bit above fair, which is what I'm going for. So as we see, it is. They do own 2 copies of it, so this could be a trade that they might take, especially if Savannah Cat is something they've been looking for. So let's go ahead and send that trade and see if we can scoop up that Amber Room here. And of course, I don't have any trades left. I probably should have canceled one before I did this. Anyway, I figured show you at least one more trade. You guys can get down to things. So I've had quite a bit of luck in the trading room. My collection of limited legendaries, and I mean, I've only been playing this game for maybe 2 to 3 months, and I've already gathered a pretty decent collection without paying a whole lot of money. So I think this game really helps out with getting cards. And look at that, guys. We that last trade before that most recent one was accepted. So as we can see here, he reluctantly, oh, go on then. But he did it anyway. Like I said, it was a duplicate. And honestly, it was a card I wanted. You know, I wanted to get a hold of that castle. So I think I tried to trade for it once before, and I wasn't successful then. But this time, look, just doing that strategy of the 2 cards he needed that were ingredients. I mean, ingredients are good if you're looking for, you know, if you're trying to craft. But right now, I'm not necessarily looking to do crafting. So getting a hold of this castle right now for my, you know, my Halloween deck, I think is a little bit more pertinent here. So, but I think that was a good trade. You know, I got what I wanted, he got what he wanted, and you know, it was a fair deal. So let me check out here, and you guys can see some of these cards that I'm talking about that not in my decks here. Let's go to collection. Let's check out, oh, still got some filters on. Let's check out these limited legendaries, and you will see I have quite a few playable cards here. King Arthur's a very good card. You can see some of my Greek cards I actually showcase in my other video. A Greek mythology deck that is seriously insane. Like, I can't even believe it's... Honestly, I can't believe not everybody's playing it. It's completely broken. I have yet to lose with that deck. I'm currently undefeated. I probably have like 20, 25 games played with it. Michelangelo, fantastic card. Rabbit's Foot, and the Devil, Count Dracula. I mean, all these are playable limited legendaries. So as you can see, I will, a lot of times I will trade multiple limited legendaries to receive one playable legendary card, limited legendary that I need. It's not unheard of to trade 2 lesser cards, even though they're both limited legendaries, for a good limited legendary. I mean, that's what you have to do to get these kind of cards, guys. Nobody in their right mind who plays this game is going to give you a card like Yellow Jacket right there for a Buddha card. It's just not going to happen. That card is so sought after. And, you know, to get that card, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure I had to trade 3 limited legendaries to even get that card. But this is where trading up, even if you don't necessarily need the card you're trading for, but trading up lesser cards to get more rare cards that you can later trade into cards like Yellow Jacket and, you know, Frilled Dragon, some of these more sought after cards that you see in the trade rooms. This Emperor here is a very good card. Eye of Providence is fantastic. I just got a hold of the Christ of the Abyss. I actually have another video where I showcase this card in action. So it's a pretty neat card. The deck itself, I mean, it's not the greatest deck, I will say, but it's my first attempt at, you know, showcasing this card. But, I mean, I did the video, the one game I played with it, I won, but, you know, my competition wasn't the greatest either. So it is what it is. But as you guys can see, I mean, I have a lot of very sought-after cards here, and you don't see a lot of, you know, legendaries that are bad. If you are familiar with this game, you know what I'm talking about here. And these are some of the decent legendaries. So, and that's just from doing this trading strategy that I just showed you guys. So if you guys are interested, definitely try it out. You know, it's been effective for me, so I don't see why it wouldn't be effective for you guys. But that's all I got for you guys. So if you guys like the video and you appreciate the content, shoot me a like or, you know, comment, and I'll try to get back to you guys on comments. if you guys have deck ideas or anything, you know, you like me to showcase, or, you know, I'll work on trading, getting the cards for, and I'll showcase a video on it. I'm looking for ideas and stuff to put more content out for you, especially if you guys, you know, if you like the video and you want to watch it. I know this game doesn't have much content right now. That's one of the reasons I figured I'd start doing it. So I'm still new to making these videos. So if you guys got any feedback for me, let me know. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.